Kick. Do you know how excited I am for Borderlands 4?
What happened with Borderlands 3?
We're not going to talk about that.
Oh,
you know how
we're
excited.
we're just gonna leave that out of the conversation.
They may be dead, but they're coming back to life, Pat. Okay?
I'm gonna go.
I'm allowed to
Didn't
be
they just
excited.
charge $80 for that game?
We are starting the Esports World Cup Week 2. We've got some Counter-Strike action, and we're going to cover some mobile esports here today on Queued Up, where the lobby is open, the mics are hot, and nobody is dodging. With me here today, Patrick, Nick, and Chris. I'm CJ. It's great to see all of you once again. Welcome. Any opening comments from the desk?
Well, you can't just put us on the spot like that. I've got two.
Okay.
Thanks for the obscure question. 2, go watch the new Superman.
There you go. Go to watch the new Superman. Below on the bottom of your screen, we're doing Around the League first, then Clutch Your Kick, Build Your Loadout, and the big story. Feel free to jump around if you want to see one of those segments first. But first, Around the League. Esports World Cup is going on, but we're not covering that first. We're going to the Fissure Playground, where we are going to play with the worst Counter-Strike teams first.
Whoa!
Huh.
We're taking shots off the start here. Okay.
Don't be talking about Lin Vision like that.
G's not even there to defend himself.
Lin Vision is there, but there's no big teams. We've got no FaZe. We've got no Spirit. We've got no Mongols. We've got no Vitality. How does that make you feel, Pat?
Actually, first I want to just, you said no FaZe as if they're a top team. I'd actually put them down here with this group of people, if we're being honest, based on their play style. But anyway, no, this tournament actually surprisingly has not been turning out how I thought it would. I was actually big team VP before this started, and they just went through those roster changes, so I was kind of expecting a little bit better out of them, but maybe time will fix that. But as we can see here from going into the playoffs here, I think we got some pretty exciting matches up. I'm actually excited about the Lin Vision and Astralis.
Yeah.
I'm pulling for Lin Vision on that one. Astralis was a team I loved back in the day, but they're nothing but a shell of their former self. 3D Max and Tyloo appear a good one. Tyloo has been on a rampage. Obviously, Complexity, America, baby, pulling for them. And, yeah, I mean, it's the mid tournament. I ain't got much else to say. I'm with you. It's just the mid.
Yeah, the only team inside the top 10 was Pain, or in ranking was the top 10 was Pain Gaming, and they're already eliminated. And then same with VP and a lot of your teams that you expected to just run the gambit with all these other teams have already been eliminated.
Well, and Pain was, I mean, for me, it was kind of the favorite. They had a great run at the major, right? And they were looking really good, and they did not show up for this one.
Well,
should have been a free dub.
And the other team that looked really good at the major and then just absolutely choked the bed there was Heroic. Heroic's already gone too.
Yeah.
And they've made a massive jump up in the rankings with that major performance, and then gone.
You talked about Astralis for a second here, Pat. They just got Hooksy, right? And that's in addition to the squad. I think they're going to be a little better because of him. I think that's an upgrade for that roster.
I mean, I definitely think it's an upgrade. But, I mean, it's like, you have the old guard still in Counter-Strike, and you have some good ones, and you have some not so good ones anymore, okay? And Device used to be a legend, okay? This man was dominant. But when I was watching him in the previous tournaments, dude, he couldn't hit a shot to save his life sometimes. And it's just like the same with a lot of these. Just like when Fallen was filling in there on Fury or whatever, playing for them, it's like, dude, I don't know. It's just like Astralis, I think this is a better pickup for them. But they're obviously, the org's been going through it. Like, there's a lot of issues going on there with Astralis. So, like, I don't really expect much out of them.
Yeah.
But more power to them.
I mean, I don't know. The other one I'm looking at is Complexity. They have looked good previously, and they have improved. I think they added somebody to their roster. Who did they add?
Well, they got back.
Yeah, Halzerk. Just
Yeah, they got
Halzerk,
back Halzerk.
because Halzerk wasn't playing in the last one yet.
Yep.
Yeah,
So that with him, it's a totally different team that looked good going into the major, and then without him, obviously, did not look even close to the same. So I think I really, if I had to rank it 1-2, I think it's Astralis' tournament to lose now, and depending on what version of Complexity shows up, it's those two.
Well, Chris, you were talking about Lin Vision before the show. Would you pick them to win this thing at this point?
Probably not. I'm still on with Nick a little bit more towards Astralis. I just think they're a lot of fun to watch ever since we saw them at the last couple of tournaments, and glad to see them kind of, pushing though. We call it a mid-tournament, and it is, but they have to play in some of these mid-tournaments to continue to rise up through the ranks. It's good to see them. They took their group 2-0, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Moving on, as you said, especially against Payne and then Rare Adam as well. So it's cool to see them kind of moving up and still playing.
Yeah, and then the last team that I want to talk about in the Fissure Playground would be 3D Max. It's like they only got through on a tiebreaker in their group. They went 1-1, so did the other team in their group, but it's like they shouldn't have even made it. Oh, wait, they went 2-1.
2-1.
2-1.
There you go.
Okay, they were on tiebreaker last time I checked, and then I am clearly mistaken.
Well, you're
but
right.
they the same either.
Yeah, and that decider match, but that's where they went 2-0 versus Payne.
Got
So,
it.
as you said, they just Payne kind of fell off in this one. So,
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Tyloo's another team that's on there has been good historically, but have been quieter in the bigger events. So I think, I honestly, any of these teams could take this. That's my opinion. So.
Yeah, just even looking at that bracket, though, it is. I know you shot your shot earlier, but it's just some rough Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
I know we ragged on Pat a couple episodes ago for calling this the Battle of the Mids, but looking at that playoff bracket, I am not excited to watch any of those matches.
Yeah, and this is the off season, and right now the next event coming up is IEM Cologne, and I would imagine we're going to see some of the final form for a lot of these teams. I say final form. They've had their 4 weeks to kind of reset from the major. We've got some changes. I think the biggest one on the table is the Falcons with the addition of Kayusake.
Yeah.
But
KSK?
I don't know.
KSK.
Yeah, KSK.
It's still nice.
Yeah, it sounds funny every time I say it. It's cool with me. So that's probably the biggest change on these top rosters. G2 still one of those top rosters on here. And here's kind of our play-ins. These are the groups that are going into the match. The top 8 from this will get decided. Obviously, some of the teams we just talked about from the playground are here as well. And then some additions, some FlyQuest, some NIP, some other ones that are in there. So
Yeah, now this is Counter-Strike at its purest form with Vitality, Mao's, Mongol, Spirit, Aurora, Falcon.
dude,
You leaving out a couple there?
Well, it's like
Those
Navi
don't
and
count.
G2.
No
it's like-
JL, no snacks.
Yeah,
they're not.
I don't know. Those two roster in the bottom right there, the ones that you kind of excluded, definitely have the turmoil. It's like I don't know if I even put them in the top 8 right now. Depending, there's 2 spots up for grab in the top 8 in my opinion.
And I know we're still hating on FaZe, but a return of an invigorated Brokey should be great for that team. Hopefully Kerrigan's still having fun though.
Pat,
Maybe.
do you agree
Wow.
with this statement? Are you hating on Brokey? Can he do it?
Dude, FaZe has not looked good for the past 5 months. Brokey or no Brokey, simple or no simple, it really hasn't mattered for FaZe, which is just, to me, is completely bizarre because their team on paper should work. They should be a top contender, but yet every time they're always falling short. And I don't know if that's because Brokey needed a reset, or Kerrigan needs to take a step back for a second and reevaluate, or Liege needs to finally get his stuff together. Because these are all great players, and they're just not performing at all. Obviously, this is still Vitality's team. They need to keep on going, and that's how I see it. Falcons, only contender them.
If we're talking about teams that have been on paper great but should be performing, it's Liquid. Liquid also in that stage 1 of IEM Cologne and just got knocked out of European closed qualifiers by Swisher Lou or some random team that's ranked 139th. So it's like Liquid isn't looking much better there. We've already seen VP and a few of those other teams get knocked out that are here with him. It's like FaZe is the best team in this little graphic by far.
I mean, depending on how Astralis does in the playground, they could
That's true.
they could
They could come in
surprise
hot.
us for
Yeah.
sure. They could come alive a little bit. But it is interesting that FaZe is kind of in that spot. I think this falls on Elijah's head. If he can play and perform and be the Elijah we know he can be, I think they can do well.
America's one true hope.
Is Complexity on there too? Yeah, Complexity's in this mix as well. I can't sleep on them, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, any closing comments on IEM Cologne? Things to look out for. Okay, on to the next Esports World Cup going on currently. I'm going to start this off a little differently.
Whoa!
It's a little bit of a mess over there, right? we've got, watching League of Legends, we've gotten a lot of delays across the board on a lot of different games. So I want to open this up. What have you guys seen, and what are your thoughts currently on the Esports World Cup as it goes into week 2 right now?
I wish there was more hype around it. I know they've ran into tech issues left and right. I'm not sure what's going on in the water over there, but I've actually enjoyed it and wish it had more hype right now, personally. That might be a hot take, but
I don't think it's a hot take because I haven't been enjoying it that much either. I think it feels like from a production standpoint, it doesn't have that hype. And it's not like the production is necessarily bad or anything, but it's just like, it just feels like there's no build up to any monumental moment or anything. It's just teams come in, they play their game, we have some issues, we move on, and we crush a key for 30 seconds, and that's it. It feels like nothing.
Do you feel that way even about the Valorant stuff that happened last week?
Yeah, the Valorant stuff felt really terrible. For its first time showing up at EWC, and maybe it's because we just came off of Masters.
Yeah.
It felt bad.
Well, and we are experiencing the same thing with MSI, right? Coming off of a great MSI for League of Legends,
we're
and then
about to go
watching
into
this.
this.
Where it's like, it's not good.
Don't steal Chris's thunder, CJ. Let him go.
I mean, you can't. I was thinking about that. Like, I was at MSI, and I was thinking maybe this ruined it for me, being at MSI and then trying to watch League of Legends happen at EWC. But if you guys are saying it from watching both at home, it feels really bad. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, we're going from what I consider to be the best format and one of the best, events that we've had internationally to this. And they have known what's been going on. They're keeping this really weird format that's in a really short period of time, while we know that Split 3 is literally happening in 2 days for LPL as well, which means that everyone's on a time crunch. It just feels rushed. None of the players really look that excited.
Yeah.
The most I've liked watching has been DOTA, because there's a little bit less events, and obviously DOTA is more of a LAN event, tournament event that's hosted more on the CSGO side like that. So obviously they've had more time to prepare. The teams actually had a group stage where it's normal, where you see them playing in their hotel room, then they move to on stage, kind of like they're going to be moving into playoffs. So DOTA feels like a DOTA tournament. League of Legends doesn't feel like an international tournament to me, though.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say about the event as a whole. It's just a lot of these games are pigeonholed into good luck, get your tournament done in 4 days, and hopefully crown a winner so we could have 26 champions.
Yeah, it's like they're just kind of rushing it through. And ultimately, I mean, the focus of this first segment is the mobile games. So we've got Free Fire, we've got Mobile Legends Bang Bang, we've got Honor of Kings. And ultimately, these are some of the stats from them. Team Falcons is on top for...
Free Fire.
Only had one game outside of the top 4 is actually insane.
Yeah.
And Free Fire is still going on. That's like a massive one. I don't even think they finished their Group C yet for Free Fire. So that's like Group A and Group B that are going through some of theirs. Free Fire is just massive from what I've been trying to follow for it. But here we got Mobile Legends Bang Bang, I believe, over here.
Mongols couldn't bring forward their CS success. They had to get beaten by VP.
That's right, yeah. I do love seeing the other orgs kind of invest into this because they have a team in another game. And we've talked about the Champions Club here too, and so a lot of VP, a lot of Falcons up there at the top, a lot of Vitality trying to figure out if they can win that Champions Club. Once again, DOTA, we have the Falcons on here as well. Team Spirit on the other side of that too.
And this one is pretty much just all invited DOTA teams, so nothing really out of the ordinary that I've seen from this one. Of course, they have invited teams and then qualifiers for TI, and this is pretty much just a TI invited semifinals.
But it is pretty underwhelming. Can we all agree? Does anybody disagree that?
Well, it's underwhelming and overwhelming at the exact same time. It's like when you're interested in an event, whether that be Valorant or League of Legends, and you watch it and you're like, man, this feels rushed. But then you're like, oh, wait, but there's also DOTA and there's also Mobile Legends Bang Bang. And there's like, you're trying to juggle 6 things, so you're overwhelmed. And then you watch the one thing and you're underwhelmed because you're like, this should be better.
Yeah. I don't know. Has anybody any thoughts on any of the mobile games?
I mean, personally, I kind of like watching the Mobile Legends Honor Kings just because they're similar to the MOBA, so it's easier for me to watch. So it's been kind of fun to watch. The one thing I did like was the fact that they did have the women's kind of international tournament for Mobile Legends Bang Bang being held there as well. So it's really cool that they allotted time to it where they paused the men's tournament to give the female tournament time to shine, and then they're bringing back the playoffs for the male tournament, which I believe starts tomorrow. So I think that was really cool. That's probably one of my favorite things that I've seen so far for it, because they actually looked pretty good on stage. Like the gameplay was actually entertaining to watch from the mobile side. So I really like the Mobile Legends and Honor of Kings so far.
Yeah, the other thing that's really cool about these for me is the fact that these prize pools are massive. I mean, this is life-changing money for a lot of these players on games that normally don't have that big of prize pools. I mean, they're big, but they're not like as big. And so I think that's an interesting piece where there is going to be some life-changing for some of these folks because of the money they're going to win.
Yeah, you know what was actually one caught me off guard? I believe it was Apex Legend in Fatal Fury in week 1. VK Gaming, first place in Apex, $250,000 for the team. Goy, Fatal Fury, $300K.
Crazy.
Go Ichi. Go Ichi.
That's what I said. Come on, Pat. Why'd you make me
old
say it
school.
wrong?
You can't have it. But yeah.
Sorry, I apologize.
That was actually a great story watching him as well in that tournament. He back against the wall out of the losers bracket, come and beat a guy he's never beat before was actually insane too. So
Yeah.
there's been some good moments so far. I just wish, I don't know. It's like we talked previously. Cut down on games to improve overall quality, or I don't know.
It's definitely interesting. Lee, I'm going to go to you, Chris, real quick. Just let's talk through the league format right now. Let's talk through some of these matches and what they've looked like and blah, 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 blah. Because we've been watching it at the office, and the best of ones have been just horrendous to watch. And then the tech process on top of that have been pretty bad.
I mean, that on top of it, today it was kind of announced that all LTA teams, Sophia, FlyQuest, and Liquid all had their media day the day right before they had to leave for LTA. So they left 20-hour flight over to Riyadh to have just a couple of hours to do their media day, and then they had their games the next day. So obviously this doesn't go down, or shouldn't push down for a success over Cloud9 because they played really well. But then you think that LTA with the Riot is not working with Riot and Riyadh to make sure that these players have plenty of time to go in. And then we have these best of ones, which you're saying, and then all these people are trying to blow up, oh, these teams lost best of one. Well, if we're like taking best of ones into account, we look G2 beats Gen.G, and then FlyQuest beats anyone Legends at MSI and bracket stage. Best of ones don't amount to anything, especially when Fearless Draft has been introduced. I think it throws off a lot. It's not as fun to watch. And then on top of that, half these players are just completely worn out, and so they're not playing at the top of their game either.
They also look rushed. They look rushed to get to and from the stations because of everything taking so long.
Common theme so far.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they get rushed there, but then we're sitting at a 40-minute analyst desk time where I took a nap in between one of them and then got my hair cut in between another and still didn't miss any gameplay. And my stylist did a great job. She took her time, but I still managed to leave expecting that I'm going to have to come back in the middle of one game, and it didn't even start yet.
Well, didn't Wei play Dota 2? Isn't that the connection?
I mean, I think he's played in the past, but I mean, it's just like I'm sitting there and I'm like, I literally was like, okay, I'm going to take a nap in between one game because it's going to take so long that what am I going to do? Like sitting here and listen to the analysts try to reach for as much as possible, and it's one game in between.
Yeah, and I think one of the other comments that we talked about off the show was the fact that there's not even a lot to talk about in a best of one. Like you can't fill that much time in the void with a best of one in a lot of ways. So they're like reaching all the time. Tough. Let's look at the playoff bracket really quickly, though. I do want to touch on this to figure out who we're going to be able to fight through here. Here's our group stages, and then ultimately we have our playoff bracket kind of unfolding. Gen.G and FlyQuest going to take it on the top there, and then T1 and Koi on the bottom is going to go up against anyone's Legend. Any thoughts here on the bracket here? Are we going to see a rematch in the end, Gen.G versus T1 from MSI in the finals, you think? Or
Yeah, I think it's all roads lead to that Chovy versus Faker matchup. Yet again, unfortunate pull for the Americas, pulling Gen.G. Just looking pretty cookie cutter there, even though the BLG G2 series was quite a surprise this morning. But I think the rest of it's going to go as planned.
yeah, I would like to see anyone's Legends versus Gen.G if I could. If I could see that best of three kind of play out between T1 and them, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it was just, I think it was a picture Chris shared in our Discord of just that team photo for T1, and they all just looked like,
It looked
why
exhausted.
are we here right now? Like this? So and that could play spoils to that entire bracket if somebody's just like, this means nothing to me. I need to go back and play my regional split. I need to something, right? So we'll see.
It's still $2 million.
That's
grab, so hey,
well, it's not chump change.
it's not chump change. That's right. Okay, cool. Let's go to our next segment. Let's do it. Clutch or kick.
Let's do it.
I've got the first one here, and I am so excited because I am talking about the esports world. Oh. No, I think it's me. It's me. Okay, I want you to. I don't know if you have the tweet or not. If you don't have the tweet, it's fine. Esports World Cup has its flaws, but I do think it is the future. This is Richard Lewis talking about. He's kind of taking a shot on the fact that the desks are a little bit uncapped. I mean, obviously we have our empty stage or whatever in the back. I understand all the hate, and I've actually participated in a lot of the hate towards the Esports World Cup on this one. But I do believe that they will find their future and be able to do this in the end. It's just taking them a while, and they're going through what it feels like. It feels like they're going through the 2014 esports stage, where they haven't figured out everything on the production side and the schedule side and who they want to be and their identity as kind of the Olympics. But ultimately, my clutch here is I think they will figure it out, and I still think it is the future of what esports will look like for the main stage and the championships that happen every year. So that's my clutch.
As much as I wanted to kick this from the second he opened his mouth, I'm going to clutch it as well. I think it's what we've been talking about this entire time. They have to figure out when that pendulum is going to stop versus quality versus quantity, and right now they're heavy on the quality. They need to swing it back in the quality side. I think it is a great thing overall.
Think about it.
I'll go next because mine's a kick. If this is the future, we're doomed.
Oh no!
This is not it, champ. I think for this to be, I don't think it's impossible, but they're going to have to really downscale. I think the problem is there's too much. It's too much for just any one person to care about. People are only going to care about their one certain thing, and that's it. And maybe that's fine for them. But I think that more time needs to be allocated to certain things. More games need to either go on for longer, needs better scheduling, because they stretch themselves so thin that production and timing and all these problems are just taking longer than they should. So it's going to take a lot.
You got Chris hot off of the League of Legends.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with
saying
Pat, but it's not even just League. I'm trying to think of like all top tier, esports and how they can fit in with the schedule. And obviously with like League of Legends, it wouldn't fit in. They put in MSI, so how is League supposed to fit in with this, having so many, as I said, like we have teams coming in off of like barely getting back or even just leaving wherever Masters or MSI is to get there. Now, if maybe they downscale it to tier 2 to where we see challenger teams come in, maybe it could be something that works. But as you also said, Valorant coming right after Toronto, like how are we going to fit in like top tier that already have their main tournaments across the world to try to fit in something like this? It's too much, and unless they downscale, I think it's going to fail.
The one thing I will say on that comment, and I like it as like it definitely hit poorly this year. I'm hoping next year they combine them, where MSI goes to Worlds and then Masters goes there. But
that makes it worse.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I mean, because
I think if that's the stage for those things, I think it works out.
So like EWC would be MSI then? Is that
That's what he's saying, yeah.
Well, I mean, like that fails because of how Riot wants their ecosystem to work. They want to push it to each major region for them to allow them to have, because they're not going to just send it off to Riyadh when
Every single year.
a majority of the players or fans want to go. So you have it in China, so they can have a majority of the Chinese fans. Korea the same way. United States. That's how they push it off into each major region. And if they just send it off to Riyadh, I think you lose a lot of fans and a lot of attendance.
Cool. All right. Let's go to the next.
Julio.
Chris, you're up, buddy.
Cool. Well, TFT has announced a new set, and with their new set, they have announced that they are going to add the pro circuit, which means a little bit of an easier way for teams for players to compete in TFT, as well as expanding the Paris Open to 768 players. So now we are having a better circuit for competitive TFT, which I think is a lot better on those top tier players who do try to compete in it, because sometimes they would have to literally sit for months trying to get a snapshot to make their way to the Tacticians Cup, which is considered their final of that set. And it was, for those players, just kind of, boring, because you get to a certain place on the ladder, then you want to stop because you don't want to lose your LP to get out of that range, so they start playing on Smurfs, or they start account sharing, which has happened to some of the players and gotten them in trouble. So this new circuit should help because it adds more competition, which allows them to have a bigger pipeline into getting into those top events.
Anybody want to go first?
Well, what are we clutching or kicking here?
The
The
pro
new
circuit.
pro circuit.
Pro circuit.
more competitive events for
My
TFT.
bad, dude. My bad.
okay, you're
I go. No, I mean, I clutch. I like TFT. I've watched some of the competitive stuff for TFT before. It's pretty fun. I don't think it's the easiest thing to watch. It kind of suffers a little bit from that. But when they allow the people to actually stream themselves, usually it's the online tournaments that they do, I find those very entertaining, just watching one person's perspective in the tournament as they go through more than the broadcast. But I like TFT. Fun game. I'm all for it.
Good.
I think the theme of this beginning of the show has been quality over quantity. And they just said 768 players at the Paris Open. That is going to be a logistical nightmare, and there's going to be issues. Like I said, I'm all for more competitions. I think I'm latching on to that 768 at the Open, and that's the part that I'm not a fan of personally. I like everything else, but
Yeah, I think for me, I'm going to kick it. Not because I just don't think that the game itself is really I wouldn't classify it as a top tier esport. I don't think it has.
Oh
the
no, I mean I think
characteristics.
it's definitely B tier, but in terms of what we're looking at here is the competition for pro players. If we're giving them a better pipeline to get to the top tier, I think this is definitely a much better way of getting them there than saying, how is it as an esport?
I'm going to kick it because I don't like it.
I'm the host.
I don't understand it, so I'm kicking it.
I like that
Thanks.
reasoning. I like that
Go ahead,
reasoning. It's me. And over the past couple of days, some crazy thing has happened in the Valorant Challenger scene. Shopify Rebellion Gold has taken down TSM 2-1, an all-female team, a Game Changers team, and they just took it to TSM. They didn't beat some random university or Jimbo Burger boys.
Cool.
This is TSM that they just beat, and it was incredible win for the scene, incredible for the Game Changers scene as well, and congrats to them, and I hope they keep the momentum up. Like that's not a slouch of a team that they just beat, and that's pretty impressive to me. Shout out Mel, been watching her content and her gaming for quite a while now. So, clutch. Good for them.
I like it. I think the ladies should be able to compete with the boys. I think every opportunity for ladies to compete against the boys and give them an opportunity to win is good. I'm glad that they did. Congratulations.
I mean, this is obviously a clutch play. I talked about this on a couple episodes ago about Game Changers and just women's esports, that they should play with the men and that they are capable. And as we can see right here, they're capable. Good for them. Congratulations, ladies.
I'm clutch.
There you go.
As I said, I've been following a lot of those as well since the beginning, and I think a lot of them have been working hard, and they've been playing really well, especially through Game Changers, and it's good to see that some of them are making the waves in the bigger tournaments now, so congratulations to them, and it's cool that they beat TSM.
Yeah, I'm with you, Pat. I don't want to see the girls have a separate girls league. I think girls should compete with the boys, and they are good enough to be able to.
Yeah, they earned their spot, and obviously, rightfully so. They're in the middle of the pack now at 1-1, and very impressive.
Yep. There you go, Pat. What's yours?
Let's go, baby.
Clutch kick.
My clutcher kick is that modern AAA games are dead. Okay,
Now, what do you mean,
We
Pat?
covered this a slight bit on buy or sell and skill diff, but it's like for the year 2025, nearly half of all the top releases of this year are all indie games or AA games. We're talking Expedition 33.
Yup.
We're talking Kingdom Come. We're talking Peak, Repo, all the games like that. Not no Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed. What was the last one? Shadows. Whatever it was. No more. All games like this. You got like Skull and Bones. All these terrible AAA games that come out today, none but filled with microtransactions. They're not in it for the actual game itself. Games before AAA games used to be about the game itself. What story do you want to tell? What gameplay elements do you want your players to be able to enjoy? It's the dev's passion. Now it seems like most of these games, not all of them, AAA-wise, are just for money and business. They're not for the consumer or for the players anymore. And they're dead.
You hold up that clutch sign. There you go.
Big clutch.
Anybody want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Chris.
He already bought me when I was recording Skill Diff myself. He makes a lot of sense. I mean, even myself, the games that I've only played this year, like one of the big ones was Expedition 33. And that was the most fun I've had. And then, of course, reading onto it that it was a small company. They went through and just got a lot of their, like almost everything off of just finding random people to like put into it. And then they had a fun time. it was probably the most fun I've had playing a single-player game in years. So 'cause usually I just kind of replay Cyberpunk at least once a year, and that's it for single player. And I haven't really seen a AAA title, maybe outside of GTA, that I'm excited for, to be honest.
Okay.
Kick. You know how excited I am for Borderlands 4?
What happened with Borderlands 3?
We're not going to talk about that.
Oh,
you know how
we're
excited.
just gonna leave that out of the conversation. And what in what world makes me think Borderlands 4? Are they on
They may be dead, but they're coming back to life, Pat. We are excited.
I'm gonna
Okay?
go.
I'm allowed to
Didn't
be
they just
excited.
charge $80 for that game?
So did everybody else.
Big boy. I didn't know you
Did
were
you
so
know?
capitalist.
Did you know?
No,
Did you
no,
know
I don't wanna hear it.
that the new Donkey Kong outrated Expedition 33 in all reviews?
Yeah, you know why? Because the people
Money.
at
I know,
IGN and stuff, no, they just jerk off Nintendo. That's all it is. It's terrible.
I'm gonna kick this as well. Grand Theft Auto is coming out, and I think that's a AAA game. And it's
Did I
definitely not that.
say all of them? I feel like everybody misconstrued me.
It's definitely
must have
definitely
missed
not
the
AAA
first
games, they're dead.
I wouldn't
worry.
consider those necessarily modern ones. Like Death Stranding 2, for example, right? Just came out. That's considered a AAA game. A lot of money put into it or whatever, but I wouldn't call that a modern AAA game. See,
Are you saying that they're bad or that they're just not as good anymore?
No, I'm saying that like what we used to call AAA is like dead. Like, you know, everything that used to be high budget and stuff was called like it was a AAA game. You know, like that era of gaming is dead. Like this big, everything's got to be spent so much money. Big, it makes it better. It's incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to
Go
watch
ahead and
skill
change.
diff.
Go ahead and
Watch
change
watch
it
the
up,
skill
bro.
diff. He
You can
explains
change if you want, but
he
I'm
explains
kicking
it really well.
I don't like it. I don't think they're dead. I think
Of course you are a businessman.
I think we are in a different business cycle specifically for AAA games where they haven't figured out the secret sauce on making new games and making really good new games. And I think that they're going to come back in the next couple of years, and you're going to see a lot of these AAA companies kind of clean their act up on how they dev a game and how they get it to the market and why it's good. And it'll be paid. They won't be free to play. And people will pay for them. That's why I'm picking it.
Okay.
You're just getting the death.
Can somebody bring in security before?
Interesting. It's okay.
That's fine.
All right, let's go to the next segment. We're going to build your loadout. Nick, you're going to be first. You're going to pick your top 2 games to screen adaptions. So these are games that have become movies or shows or, yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna go twofold here.
You are.
I'm gonna take one. We're gonna talk about
That's a great
Arcane?
photo. That's a great photo of you, by the way.
and Super Mario Brothers. One of the best TV shows and one of the best movie adaptations.
Dude, Super Mario Bros. Was good.
It was, I really expected it to be terrible. And the amount of subtle references, you didn't have to be a diehard fan, but for the diehard fans, they had so many subtle references that just all over the place. The comedy was there. It had the right amount of quirk. The storyline was actually pretty good, which you don't expect out of a Super Mario Brothers movie.
Dude, the song.
Oh,
Dude, Peaches.
Peaches.
Oh, man, I love that. That's great.
Chris, what you got?
I have also Arcane, but I added Edge Runners, Cyberpunk Edge Runners as my
okay.
second. Again, these are 2 games I really like, so I was hypercritical when the shows came out. Of course, loved Arcane. Loved that they're actually building lore that is tangible in Riot's Runeterra. And then Cyberpunk, I thought, was just a great adaptation. It felt like Cyberpunk when you watched it. Very bleak, but exciting. So I think they did a really good job on that show, and I've rewatched it a lot of times, so I'm ready for the next one.
Yeah, I know. It's getting another one, which is exciting. That one is a really good one.
Pat, you're next.
Yep, I am next. Okay, I chose Pokemon.
Ooh.
Okay,
That's a good choice.
and Arcane because obviously we all chose Arcane. Arcane is fantastic, but Pokemon, I mean, I think for me that's just like the best adaptation of a video game that's ever been. That one will live with me forever and many children to come, and it will probably live on forever.
So the series or the movie?
All of it.
All of it. Just
All of it.
That's fair.
It's to the screen.
I'll let you go.
That
and then
first
I have a
Pokemon
question.
movie, dude, I cried like a baby.
Oh yeah. I remember getting there and getting my little golden ticket with my little Pokeball. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Core memory.
I gotta tell you, I'm a little worried about mine.
Oh no, we're about to rip a new one. Let's get the kick signs.
It doesn't have Arcane on there, but it has Gran Turismo. A great movie. It was filmed by PlayStation. It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, it's a 10 out of 10. It's fire. And then the other one that one of my friends and I, we went to movie theaters to see the movie Warcraft, right in the peak Warcraft era when World of Warcraft was going fire. And that movie is good. I like that movie a lot.
I actually do like Warcraft was up there for me, but it's. Wow.
Pat, you want to borrow my
I see why you said that modern AAA games are not dead after seeing your picks there, buddy. Gran Turismo, a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's insane.
Dude, it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was a fine, like, straight to streaming service movie. But you can watch it and it'd be okay. But a 10 out of 10.
Top 2 was tough for me because leaving off things like Fallout and Last of Us and. You know what? The other, if I was able to pick another movie, Detective Pikachu, banger.
Oh, that was a good one.
Banger
Yeah, that's an.
So that's why I was like Pokemon. You encapsulated quite a bit. But.
It's just all good. Everything Pokemon related.
And then the new Mortal Kombat movie, as well as the second one that just got announced yesterday.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the new Mortal Kombat movie?
Oh, I gotta see
Even the old ones are pretty good, just for the sake.
Yeah, the 95 one or whatever.
That was a good one. Also, I just got to note that production agrees with me that Gran Turismo was a great movie.
Wow.
So,
Oh, you mean the other people that sit on the little iRacing rigs think it's a good movie? Wow.
Surprise! Ooh.
Dude, just because it's racing doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Car goes fast, me likey.
It got car I like.
Listen, you got to be able to believe that when you're in that racing rig, you can get in a real car and drive it, okay?
Do you watch Twitch with a controller in your hand, too?
I do, yeah.
Insane, brother. Insane.
Okay, all right. In other news, we've got a cool story here. We're talking Speedrunner and the.
Oh, we go fast again. Surprise.
He likes these.
They play Gran Turismo speedrunning over here too. Okay. Games Done Quick has raised a bunch of money for charity, and they're having some speedrunning stuff going on. You know, they've got a variety of different titles that are going on, and they've got a nice little audience here. You know, what games we got? We got some Final Fantasy. We got some
Mario
Super
3.
Mario Bros.
Oh, Celeste. Best platformer ever.
My top 3, Halo 4, Sekiro, and then they had Backyard Baseball as one of their speed runs. Even though it wasn't really a speed run, it was kind of a bonus game that we got. It was like 9 endings, some trying to win a pickup. Still a lot of fun for them to add in it, though. But I still think Sekiro and the Halo 4 were 2 of my favorites I got to watch because I was in Vancouver. So I actually got to watch more of what we consider the late night ones because it wasn't as late there, and just got back from MSI, so I turned it on for a little bit to watch.
Yeah, I used to watch these all the time.
Yeah.
I loved watching these. Hitman's probably one of my favorite. I love like a good Hitman Blood Money speed run. Definitely fun and interesting. Just because the way they break the game is what makes it so entertaining. It's hilarious.
I don't know. I prefer the glitchless runs, personally.
Those are good too.
Dude, Mario's got a ton of big glitch ones too.
Yeah.
But
those you could literally do in like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Interesting. But that's amazing. It's great that we're raising. I love that when we use gaming to raise money for charity. I think that's a really cool initiative. So.
Just like Dr. Lupo until he cheated in chess.
Go check out the state of. Go Google the state of Dr. Lupo, and you'll get to see what exactly happened with that one.
Too soon.
In other news, this is a hot topic for the Esports World Cup. The Carolina Royal Ravens, they didn't make it to. Well, I say they didn't make it. In order to make it to the Esports World Cup in a Call of Duty roster, you had to have 3 or 4 players stay. A player from Carolina Royal Ravens, there was a couple that ended up moving. One was TJ Halley, and the other was Gwen. And however this unfolded, whether it was an org decision, whether it was a player decision, you know, I think everyone's kind of pointing the finger at each other at this one. But they did not qualify for the Esports World Cup because of all these roster changes. And we're seeing a lot of drama kind of unfold on it. But I just wanted to open up to the group to see what do we think about this situation and people being angry about it.
Everybody that's angry about it seems like the bitter ex-girlfriend, and it's not a good look for them, and everything I think will come back full circle for the things that they are saying, unfortunately. They're placing blame in the wrong directions. Don't blame the players, blame the organization, because at the end of the day, it falls on them for the contracts. So I know there's still some unknowns out there, but at the end of the day, if those players were still under contract, they would not be having these issues. Those players were free to leave and explore their own other opportunities, and they took that. You can't fault the players for that in any way, shape, or form.
And it is interesting. We're seeing the community kind of they're backlashing against the players more than.
Yeah, I don't know why.
the
It's
organization.
crazy to me.
Probably because popular guy said so. He say meme words about other guy, and he like more online. So thus now we all hate this guy.
Oh, so CJ's one of those people. He like he fast car. Yep.
I mean,
Simple-minded.
ultimately, it is a travesty in the fact that our local team isn't going to be going to the Esports World Cup to compete. But it is a blessing for the fact that 5
Fierce
Fears is going and playing in their steed. I think that's cool for those guys, a challengers team that got an opportunity because this one kind of fell apart.
Hoping for a huge Cinderella run out of them would be a great story.
Yeah, and this is part of that open ecosystem we talk about with the CDL. It's like, how well will they do? I'm very curious to see how they're going to stack up against an average Optic team that probably won't run it back.
Yeah.
He's holding on to that one. They ain't running it back, boy. They ain't running it back.
We'll see. Okay, cool. Well, that's been queued up today. We've had a short episode. It's a little bit light on some of the other esports topics, so we did a short and sweet one for you guys here today, but thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. We will be back next week. It's Thursday. We'll be back next week for another episode. Thanks for watching, and we appreciate you, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Is the screen for us?
Great job, everyone.
Great job.
I need an energy drink.